today. Outcast and Hey Ya. I don't know what it means, but it sounds good. I like it. It's a fun little song in it. It is 8:15. Oh, look, the doc's in. It's Dr. Kevin with the Bryant Wellness Institutes of Acadiana. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How is everybody today?
Good. How are you?
Excellent.
You know, we have a big box of Great Harvest stuff. Michelle from Great Harvest brought in some stuff for us, and I was like, oh, Dr. Kevin's coming. I think this is going to be okay though. And when you walked in, I said, is Great Harvest okay to have? And he says, yes. I was like, finally, something in this room you say yes to. Yay!
After 5 years.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
Usually it's boudin balls.
Well, listen, you did one healthy thing in 5 years. You do it. It's not too bad.
I'm okay. No, man. All right, so what you got for us today, Doc?
Well, today I have a show about a Louisiana summertime staple. It's something that many people wear, and I think it's flip flops and sandals. Last week we did taking care of your skin for the summertime, and this week we're going to do taking care of your feet for the summertime. And listen, I know your flip-flops are very dear to your heart.
I wear them every day.
And I know you're not willing to give them up. They're
Would you
easy.
like to see mine right now?
They're cool in the summer. Yeah, let me see what you got.
Look at this. I can't lift my foot up that high. I'm not that limber.
Well, that's where we
I don't like it much when my legs go behind my head. I don't like that.
Does that have a hole in the bottom of it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they better not. They're pretty new.
Yeah. Okay, we can use
I wear these almost, not these, but I wear flip-flops just about every day because at 4 o'clock in the morning, I want stuff I can put on quickly.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have time to put on socks and tie and shoelaces.
No, I mean,
that would be way too hard.
One morning, I was in the apartment just off Gilboa. I was coming out of the apartment one morning, and I felt a draft. I was like, what is that? I didn't have pants on, Doc. I was standing at my door in the underwear. I was like, oh, crap, let me get back in there. So, no, I don't have time to put on real shoes. Yeah. But I bet you're going to tell me I should.
Yeah, you really should. And so what we are going to talk about today is give people some tips on which ones to buy, what to look for. I even have some brands. I'm going to give you like the top 4 or 5 brands of flip-flops that you should pick from.
Oh.
And so
wait, so there's an acceptable brand?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there's 4 or 5 really good ones. So at the very least, today's show is going to give everyone an excuse to go shoe shopping.
All right.
It's so funny that I can't believe that you would come in here to talk about flip-flops today because I had prepared a story about flip-flops, to do a story about flip-flops. So, but
what does it say?
Well, you may cover a lot that's on here.
Okay.
It says 6 times you shouldn't wear flip-flops.
Yeah.
And it says when you're walking your dog, a study in 2009 found 18,000 different types of bacteria on one pair of flip-flops, including fecal matter.
Yeah.
Your shoes get covered with bacteria too, but just let's see. Okay, they get covered with bacteria, but just on the outside, it says.
Yeah.
Okay, anytime you're walking a long way, or you might have to run, don't wear flip-flops.
Yeah.
A 2008 study found that flip-flops make you take shorter strides, so you're more likely to fall. And when you're mowing the lawn, obviously, okay?
Yeah, that's never a good idea.
Well, yeah, actually, when you mow the lawn, you're supposed to wear like long pants and long sleeves and all that.
Well, you don't want that foot to go up underneath that lawnmower.
No.
Power
Definitely.
equipment in flip-flops usually don't go very good.
Yeah. When you're cooking, don't wear flip-flops. You have to worry about things like boiling water, grease splatters, and knives you may drop. Don't wear flip-flops anywhere that's crowded. Eventually, some guy in a steel-toed boot will step on your foot, and you'll understand why.
Yeah, boy, no kidding.
And you shouldn't when you're driving. It's actually illegal. Wait. Let's see. It's not. Why? It says it's not actually illegal. That's a myth. What does that mean? That means it is illegal?
No,
it's not.
It's
illegal.
Not.
It's
Okay.
a myth that it is illegal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think it should be because you shouldn't wear them because they can fall off or get wedged under the pedals.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't wear
Makes sense.
flip-flops to drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. Now,
Well, I mean, we shouldn't do a lot of things while we drive.
No, I know it.
You know, Lafayette traffic. If everybody would just put their phones down at the red light and go when it turns green,
yeah.
we could solve the traffic problem.
Yeah.
Sir, I am with you.
You're right.
Yesterday, I saw two people who were just driving erratically, and sure enough, they were on that phone, you know, and they had the phone like in front of them, not at their ear, looking at it in front of their face.
Yeah.
Like, how can you see the road when you have a phone in front of you?
Right.
Literally in front of their
Yeah.
faces.
Well, maybe they had their camera on. They were
Taking selfies.
Taking a
I don't
video.
know. I don't know. It's just, you know, and I don't have a problem with pissing people off. Some people are not smart enough to do both. Sorry.
Right.
You don't have the mental capability of driving a 2-ton bullet and taking selfies at the same time. You don't have the mental capacity. You don't. Okay, now.
pick one or the other, right?
Yeah, really. Really. Some people don't have the mental capacity to drive the car without any distraction.
And Dr. Kevin, you wanted to talk about flip-flops?
Yeah, he's easy to get ramped up
Oh,
about
yeah.
that. isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to remember that. Anytime I want to ramp him up, I'll just mention that. next
Oh,
time. Yeah.
you see, this is why Deb said it this morning. It's why they don't allow me to answer the phone because here they put in that new $22,000 phone system a few years ago and made sure they had a meeting to teach everyone how to use it, but me. I've seen it. It's pretty. It lights up. I don't know how the hell to use it. I've never touched it. Anyway, they won't let me.
So here are some tips that
Oh, shut up now.
so here's the number one
I'm
thing.
not.
You know, the number one thing about sandals, and this is probably one of the worst things you can do, is if you look at the thickness of the sole, you know, the very worst sandals are those ones with those super thin bottom that are just completely a flat piece of leather with straps on them.
But they're so cute, Dr.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Yeah, my patients, I'll tell them, they go, oh, but they're so cute.
Wait, now what's wrong with it?
And I go, well, that surgery you're going to have later is not going to be cute. So,
Yep.
well, they're just no arch support. They're extremely flat bottom, zero support for your arches. It's like walking barefoot, basically. So there's nothing
So
to
I have
support.
a question about that.
Sure.
Because I have an aunt in the Westlake, Lake Charles area, and she goes into grocery stores with no shoes on. She just loves to walk around with no shoes. That's just her, and if you have a problem with it, she just won't spend her money in your store. She'll go to another one that will allow her to walk around barefoot. But now that's what God gave you.
Right.
All right? That's what God gave you. It's not good to walk around barefoot.
Well, here's the thing with that, and that's a great question because I get that all the time. You know, if you do that all the time, your feet have adapted to get used to that. The ligaments have tightened, the tissue has toughened up, and that's just the way your feet have adapted to be. You know, our bodies adapt. But now, if you wear shoes most of the time, and then you decide all of a sudden one day to go completely barefooted,
Got it.
or you wear shoes that have no arch support, then your feet have not slowly over the years adapted to that status.
Got it.
So
That makes
if somebody's
sense.
a jogger and they normally jog in regular New Balance, and all of a sudden they switch to those where are basically like jogging barefooted, they're asking for some major foot problems because their feet have not slowly adapted over time to be accustomed to having no support.
So is that why women who wear high heels all the time often say, I can't wear flats, it hurts?
Yeah, absolutely. Their feet have adapted. Their tendons have shortened. Their Achilles tendon has shortened to be used to having that slanted foot. But zero arch support is like walking barefoot, and this can lead to a condition called plantar fasciitis. And this is a very painful irritation in the tissues in the bottom of the foot. Plantar fasciitis is usually very painful, especially when you first put your feet on the floor and stand up in the morning. Like when you first stand out of bed, the arches of your feet are very, very tender and painful until you walk around for a little while, then it loosens up. This is a condition called plantar fasciitis, and it can be very, very painful in the future as well. And so we have a whole program to solve plantar fasciitis, but it's not easy to fix. It's so much easier just to prevent it. But our arches go through extreme forces as we walk around throughout the day. You know, if you add up all of the weight if you walk around about a normal day, if you add up all of the forces that are on our tendons and the bottom of our feet, and you add that up throughout the day, it actually equals the weight of a fully loaded cement truck or on those tendons by the end of the day.
I would imagine that's even higher if you're an overweight person.
Absolutely. It can double or triple.
Wow.
Of course it can. Extreme forces on our feet throughout the day. People do not realize how your arches transfer all the way up your body. You know, your arches are kind of like the floor of your house. Everything sits on them.
Yeah.
And if that arch collapses, it buckles the knee in, it drops the lower back on that side, the pelvis. It can actually transfer all the way up to the top of your head by having collapsed arches or what's called pronation, where your feet turn out. And
so it can mess you up.
Absolutely, all the way up to knee problems, hip problems, lower back, all the way up into the shoulders. And so taking care of your arches is very important. But these tendons are under extreme pressure. So wearing shoes that do not support your arches is asking for a painful conditions later on in life. And so if you have any of this foot pain, we have a whole program to solve it, but prevention is definitely the way to go with this arch support. And then the second thing you want to look for in your shoes is how bendable or twistable are your flip-flops. So in other words, if you can take your flip-flop and twist it and bend it and move it anyway. Yours actually looked like they had a little more support to them than normal.
Okay, show me what I got to do.
Just bend them, twist them. See if you can
like
see how yours are pretty solid. They have a little bit of support. Now, you know
These
ones
are Tommy Hilfiger I got to the TJ Maxx in Galveston.
So you know the ones that are just like a piece of foam with the rubber straps on them. They'll bend and
like them old Navy ones, $5.
Yes, exactly like those.
Okay.
They'll bend and twist any direction, and they offer no support at all to the feet. So
you've seen those platform flip-flops?
Yes. I have seen those.
Those seem treacherous to me.
Yes.
Oh, I see. I don't even know what you're speaking about.
Yeah.
They're on, like on there's like a, I don't know, 2-3 inch heel, and then it goes down to a platform that's like an inch and a half or something.
And that's a
And the
flip-flop?
only thing holding that on your foot is the strap.
The strap.
Like a flip-flop. That
Yeah.
just seems very
It is,
dangerous to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, I don't wear
That
heels.
seems like some stitches waiting to happen.
You know
right
what?
there.
While we're talking about it, I see these women with these big heels, like big. You know, the whole thing is like the whole shoe is probably about, I don't know, 6 inches thick. You know what I mean? And then they
Where you been hanging out to see that?
No, I see that. I see it on TV. I see it on TV, and I see on YouTube people falling in them things. I see what you call it when they walk down models walking down the runway, stumbling in these.
Yeah.
Why? Who thinks that's cute?
I don't know. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
A lot of people like them.
I don't know.
Here's how to tell if your flip-flop or sandal gives you some support. If
Okay, here
you
we
don't
go.
want to flex it and bend it all over the place. If you can take it and flex it, it should bend where the ball of your foot bends, where your toes connect onto your foot. At the ball
That's
of your
where-
foot,
well, let me
it
get it.
should bend right there.
I'm gonna check
and
my road.
offer you
like that?
exactly like that, and everywhere else should have some support to it. That's actually
All right.
showing pretty good. Yeah, so it should bend at the toe, and everywhere else should
good.
offer some support where it doesn't twist and is very, very loose there. So that's kind of the second thing that you want to look for. And then third is you want to look at the surface where your foot sits. If it's perfectly flat, or is there arches where the curve...
Wait a minute. Let me get it again. Okay. What now?
All right, so the surface where your foot sits, your footbed, where your foot sits on, you should...
Well, the foot sits on the whole shoe.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The whole shoe, right there where your foot sits.
Oh, okay.
It should have some arch supports to it. In other words, if it's perfectly flat where your foot sits, your arch is going to be collapsing. If you have some curves to it that are going to support your arches and support the way your foot curves,
Doc, I think
it's going to be better.
I think I'm in good shape over
Yeah,
here. Look.
that one has some curves to it.
Can you see from where you're
Yeah, has some curves.
Well, all right, Deb, we're doing
So
something
that's pretty
right.
good. Yeah.
Well, we're not doing as badly as we might. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that your shoe has some sort of an arch support or curves and valleys that will help hold your foot the way a bottom of a foot is supposed to look like. If it's flat, that's not the way the bottom of your foot looks. So you want to have it to where it's shaped, where when you put your foot on it, it sort of keeps your foot in that bottom of the foot arch. the way it's supposed to look.
You could have like back problems and hip problems and all that because your foot is not right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the main causes. Yeah, absolutely. So supporting your arches is a great thing. So listen, when we get back from break, I have an actual brand name list of flip-flops that are approved.
Yay.
It's approved by the APMA, which is the American Pediatric Medical Association. Give these brands their stamp of approval, meaning they will support your feet, support your arches, and several of them are still great looking. So get out your pen. When we get back from break, I'll have some names for you.
Oh, this is great.